It is Levack and Goz. It is a Tech East Tuesday, which is why you can find us right there on Tech East Fire and Water Restoration's Facebook page. It's your best way back to normal Facebook. And of course, tefirewater.com. There's been no rain, so probably not many people calling us right now, but it'll happen. It will. Mother Nature's a fickle bitch, and when she does, tefirewater.com. That's where you go. Hey, guys.
Hi there, Jeffrey Allen Levack, Sr. How are you feeling?
I'm not senior. There's no junior. Hold on.
Oh,
sounds like I'm good. Everything's good. There's nothing to worry about. Everything's good. Nothing to see here.
I know you weren't a part of the pregame show because you know that because you weren't there. Do you want to talk about whatever you'd like to share of where you were? I think that was a big clue you just gave away.
I'm good. Everything's good.
You're not feeling well.
I have flu. I have the flu as far as anyone's concerned. I have the flu. I think people
don't tell the internet that. The internet
figured it out by now. What's going on over here? You know, if you haven't, forget the other tests. You're not going to pass an IQ test. No, I've had a little more time. I'm grounded. I'm stuck here in the house for a little while. Bored in the house and I'm in the house. Bored in the house and I'm in the house. Bored. I feel a lot better than I did a couple days ago. Really just a bad cold. That's pretty much what I'm dealing with. It's a bad cold.
Sure. Yes, we'll say that. Let's say, for instance.
Well, that's what it feels like. That's what I'm saying.
Other people were catching this, and for a long time, you didn't catch that really bad cold, and the streak finally ended. We'll put it like that. I think that's a good way to put it.
Which is weird, too, because the way the timing is, like, no one was around me when I got it. Like, I don't know. Like, that's what they're like, all right, well, who are you around? I'm like, no one. I don't have friends. I don't hang out with people. I just do what I do. So here I am. I'm a medical mystery, scientific anomaly. That's what I am.
Saturday is a playoff game for the Albany Empire. If you have an injury,
that's a true story.
If you have an injury report right now, where would you list yourself on your potential appearance for Saturday? Questionable, doubtful, probable, out.
What's the second? So it's
questionable.
I would say questionable. I would say I'm questionable at this point because, like, I feel like I could go. Like I could go. Like I could play. You know what I mean? Put me in, coach. I'm ready. Suit me up. But I have to adhere to certain protocols now because I was responsible, and a couple other things I have to do before I'm allowed to do those kind of things. So I would say questionable. I wouldn't put me at full probable, but questionable.
Don't put you.
The coach already told me I'm not allowed, which means I want to do it even more. So, but he's protecting me. He's just worried about me.
I was going to say, if this is a fantasy football lineup, would keep you on the bench until Saturday, but coach is trying to throw off the media, it sounds like now, and not put you into the game.
You definitely want to handcuff me with my backup, which after watching Saturday does not exist. So, I don't know. Like I said, I really have no idea. Like I expected to be completely better by now, which, as you can hear, there's still like some remnants in it. Mucinex is God. That's all there is to it. It's the best, and I ran out of it, so I need more. I'm actually going to text my kid and see if she'll go grab me some as we do this. But I was like, yeah, I'll just do some NyQuil at this point. It's fine. Nah, I still need the Mucinex. That's the key. The key is the Mucinex because I felt great when I was taking that. Now I'm not taking that. I don't feel as great. I don't.
Well, even though you're not feeling well, but you're improving. It was a big week on Saturday.
I enjoyed it very much.
The top seed. You only hit me up once during the broadcast. I thought you were going to be filling up that comment section, just arguing away with all the NAL fans, and you had the 3 tabs going because there were so many playoff implications involved in the NAL. But you got an interesting perspective to watch the Empire game on Saturday. Before we break down the game, I'm just curious, is there anything that caught you off guard about, like, I feel like you had the coach's tape versus the on-field tape, and I know you know what I mean by that. You had a whole different angle for the first time in, 4 years of watching an Empire game at home.
Yeah, well, remember, I got to watch the end of a game earlier this year for a whole different physical issue. No, it was crazy. Definitely early, it felt like the Gunslingers were coming for us, and they were ready to get that W. Like we were their championship game. That's what it was. Like, we're going to finish the year. We're going to take away the number 1 seed from Albany. Phil Barnett, who, we loved when he was a member of the receiving corps for the Empire last year, played in a phenomenal game. And it was a little nerve-wracking early, and obviously the Like I said this to Coach earlier today. I was like, big time players make big time plays in big time games, and that's what you saw. Darius Prince with a one-handed catch, Sam Castronova stiff arming dudes, getting into the end zone, and Dwayne Hollis just like, yeah, keep calling it back. I'm just gonna keep picking it off. I'm just take it away from me as many times as you want. I'm just gonna keep taking it away from them. So screw you. That's what's gonna happen. Jake Metz getting some pressure, new dude on the block. Too big of a dude to be wearing number 2, but whatever. No, it was a good. I think it was the kind of win you want going into a playoff game, because Jacksonville's going to bring it. So you don't want that easy, like, oh, we can take it easy and win this game. No. You better bring it, because you're still the guy that everybody wants to beat.
San Antonio was way more of a test than what Orlando put on in the final week. And I bring up those two teams because those two teams were not going to be playoff teams no matter the result of the final week of the regular season. Orlando got trounced by Columbus, while San Antonio was in that game all the way through. And I feel like somebody like accepting an award at the end of like a season for a sports team, thanking the other team. But for real, San Antonio deserves a lot of praise for how they changed their season around, because you and I had saw that team the first month of the season and they were struggling both on the field. An ownership change happens at times. The community is like, what am I watching? The whole thing changed. And unfortunately for Empire fans, the change of that started with a win over Albany, and everything else changed because that was a really good team that took the field. Shout out to Ralph and the crew who came from San Antonio for the broadcast. Those guys came over. We chatted up for a good 15, 20 minutes before the game about everything about the league and what goes on. So to see the commitment and the change from San Antonio, it is what you just said, a far better test. A quarterfinal playoff game might even be a nice way to phrase it if coach wants to use that, of what that game became on Saturday, because they were in that all the way through.
Yeah. I mean, I said this before. I feel like I should stop saying that. It's like a new show. You probably didn't watch the coach's show. The maturation process for San Antonio, when they beat us in San Antonio, you saw them go, this is still football. Oh, okay, I got you. And they played really good football since. Even in their losses, you saw them, start to play more like a pro team. And in their losses before that win, you saw they were knocking on the door and they were getting closer. But they're a good team. And who do they get back? I don't know, but I think with the way these guys finished the year, they're going to be more willing to go back, and they're going to tell people who have the opportunity to go play in San Antonio, that's where you want to play. Kind of like what we deal with here in Albany. Like, you get a lot of guys who, will say, Darius Prince. Darius Prince is one of the best recruiters for Albany. It just, you should come here because Mike Corda's legit, and and everybody's going to take good care of you, and coach is real, and all this. Like that matters in this league, because these guys, it's 1-year deals. They can go wherever they want. So to finish the way they finished, I think makes them far more likely to get high quality players next year.
Now the matchup, Saturday night at home. There was a point in this spring and early summer where these possibilities of whether or not the Empire would not just be the top seed, but a home team were questioned. Now there's no question. Number 1 seed. If you want to win an NAL championship, you've got to take down the Empire on their home turf inside the MVP arena. And the Jacksonville Sharks come to town, a team that Albany's defeated before. And
accidentally FaceTiming someone.
And the storyline that media people like me love, Mike Faithful comes back and is likely projected to be the starting quarterback for the Albany Empire. He has not gone away. The storyline you thought, hey, we wish Mike the best. Thank you very much. You're a good quarter. Here he is, Levack, in the quarterfinal. We thought it could have potentially been Tommy Grady or Malachi Jones, and all that stuff could still happen in Carolina and all those exploits. But it's Faithful versus Castronova with a chance to go to the NAL championship on Saturday night.
Do we know for sure that Arvel Nelson's not going to play? Because that's what I mean. Like that's what I'm not ready to say that either way. Like either one of those guys is good. Either one of those guys is very good. The Faithful story would be very, very intriguing, because obviously by everything you just painted out there. But Nelson's got a history of ruining high hopes here in Albany. He did it in 2018 with the Valor. Faithful kind of did it early this year by leaving, and then Sam took over, and here we are. So I'm not, unless you know something I don't know, I think Arvell Nelson's going to play that game. That's what I think.
I think I had footage of Faithful's back to the camera, and I wanted to use that for my Friday piece here at CBS 6. So.
Oh, okay. Well, then until then, Faithful. Well, I mean, he's going to be here. There's no doubt he's going to be here.
Right.
But I think he's going to be Nelson.
Nelson's better. Nelson had a better season. He's a better player. No disrespect, but he's like one of the great indoor football quarterbacks of all time. That's exactly right.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is. Again, I told you, I look at the way that Faithful throws the ball, and he's got one of the best arms in the game. This league has proven you better be a little mobile too. You know, Sam Casanova is a monster because he's mobile. Jonathan Bain could move, which helped. You know, Arvell Nelson can still run, not like he used to. You know, but look at what happened to Tommy Grady. Tommy Grady is arguably the best indoor quarterback that we've seen. He only got to play a half because you got to be able to move right now with the way these lines break down.
You're allowed to change this answer for Saturday's pregame show, but I'll ask you because I know by the time between now and Saturday, no player will give me the answer I want. No coach will give me the answer that I want, but you potentially could. Is this the team you most wanted to see the Empire get in the semifinal round? I asked Ryan McCarthy this question, by the way, before you answer it. I asked Ryan McCarthy, and Ryan, who follows the league just like us, he said he wanted Carolina because the games had been so close, and there was a little bit of bitterness of, I want to see that matchup in the semifinals and all of that storyline behind it. Carolina was his pick. What say you, team president Jeffrey Allen Levack Sr.?
For the championship, who do I want?
Right now in the semifinals, like this opening round, is Jacksonville the best matchup for the team?
Oh, for right now, Jacksonville without Devin Wilson is interesting. I don't get to play, so you know what I mean. So like, I don't feel right for me to go, this is the team. Screw these pussies. Like because all you're doing is firing up a hornet's nest that you're not going to get stung by.
Yeah,
personally. So like, you know me, I'm a narrative guy. Like that's what I do. I sit down and I see narratives in everything. You know, if Carolina was the first one to come in, oh, this is great. They beat us 3 times. This is our chance for redemption. Not to mention, you know, they've signed a bunch of our former players. It's a great story. It'll be a lot of fun to win that game. Jacksonville is a lot of fun because Jacksonville's a 2-time NAL champ. So if we can beat Jacksonville on our way to another championship, then you beat the man to become the man. You know what I mean? Woo. So there's that. Yeah. Columbus, we have a great history against Columbus, but Columbus is, they're like, people like to call them the Buffalo Bills of the NAL. They're always in the championship game, but they never win it. They're gonna break through at some point. They're gonna break through. So like, I honestly, the teams that are left, I'm in for all of them. I want to see every one of them. I almost wish there was some kind of like a round robin tournament where you got to play everybody. But as a guy who like isn't going to get to go make a tackle, catch, or any of those or run the ball, I'm not going to sit here and be like, yeah, I'm glad it's Jacksonville. Teach you. Like, you know, I know people in their front office. I'll be happy to see them if they make the trip up. But I can say the same about almost every team in the league at this point. I'll
ask you on Saturday. I'll let the social media people fire you up.
You know, honestly, for right now, yeah, I want Jacksonville because that's who you got. That's who it is. So what are you going to do?
7:00 kickoff set inside MVP Arena on Saturday. For tickets, AlbanyEmpireNAL.com. You want to drop the number as well?
Yes, but actually do the deal. Go to AlbanyEmpireNAL.com because if you buy your tickets through the Spinzo page that we've set up, $5 for every ticket goes to Special Olympics in New York. We're going to honor them during the game. Yeah, so a bunch of the athletes who represented us down in Orlando for the U.S. game are going to be there, and we're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to raise some cash for them.
An awesome cause, man. I know the Special Olympics so close to you. You've done so many cool events with them. To see them in the playoff stage, getting that honor is so cool.
My guy Tommy Mooney, who you know I love that guy. I hate him right now because his nickname is the Shark, and I gave it to him because he used to be a swimmer. Now he's a weightlifter. He was there last week, and he's like sending me pictures of the Empresses. He's like, "Oh, there's my girls. There's my girls." I'm like, there's no way they can say no to you, Shark. There's no way. You're too much charisma. You're a gold medalist, for Pete's sake. Go hit on those ladies. They'd be lucky to have you, sir. So we're gonna have to change the nickname for this week, but yeah, they'll be good to see the guys.
Tell Tommy to wave to the camera. I want him to get some time for the ladies out there. He's the man, dude.
It's so much fun to see a guy like him who, like, I remember the first time I met him, I was lucky enough to be invited to like help teach the athletes to like handle the media. Like, you know, like how do you handle a question you don't want? you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And first time I met Tommy, he's just like, he wouldn't say a word, just wasn't talking. So I started messing about swimming. I go, what's your event? He goes, I swim. I'm like, Tommy the Shark Mooney. And like we've been boys ever since. But now it's not about me anymore. Tommy's come into his own. Like he's my favorite Tommy to talk to on a microphone.
Oh, hurtful. The last time I saw Tommy was at Mohawk Chevrolet. So shout out to Mohawk Chevrolet. Shout out to Mohawk Honda. They're always doing great things with the Special Olympics and great things for you here in upstate New York. They want to buy your vehicle this summer. The summer is getting closer and closer to August. You might have been waiting. Wait, should I really trade my vehicle? Yes. Stop waiting. Stop stalling. Go into Mohawk Honda or even Mohawk Chevrolet, either one, and they want to make sure they get your ride upgraded this summer. Great prices going on. You might be able to sell back your vehicle for the same price you bought it for. Levack and I know from experience, we both got great rides. True. Thanks to Mohawk Honda and Mohawk Chevrolet. All the great people. Truck. Yeah?
I miss driving it.
When did it go into service last week?
No, it goes in, it doesn't go until the 23rd, but I've been stuck in a freaking house.
That hurts even more. Once you get out of the house, you got to
right there. And I washed it right before, too. Like my daughter and her boyfriend came over and dropped off NyQuil. And he goes, when did you wash your truck? I go, right before I got locked up. And he goes, it looks really nice. I'm like, F you. Love my truck, my Mohawk Chevrolet truck.
Shout out to the boyfriend kissing up to Levack early in a relationship, by the way.
He's not a Chevy guy. That's why he's already toast. Yeah, he's made some terrible life decisions.
It's never too late to become a Chevy guy or a Honda guy.
Yes.
Mohawk Honda, Mohawk Chevy.
I think that's what does it. I think that's what does it. Is you go to the Mohawk, you deal with the families, right? You deal with the Chevy family, the Honda family, and that's what you become. I grew up a bow tie guy. I've always been a Chevy guy, but we used to hang out at Honda all the time. Like I love Hondas. I love Hondas. And then Andy Gelcher and Jeff Harridan started, dragging me back over. But don't you love Chevy? And I'm like, yeah, I do love Chevy. So like in a perfect world, at some point I'm gonna end up with like something sporty from Honda in the driveway right next to that big old Chevy Silverado, and I'll be living the dream.
I believe you and I are scheduled to be back at Mohawk Honda, by the way. Set your fall calendars for this. September 14th, the day after AEW comes to the MVP arena. So we'll talk wrestling and football. I think I am. Yeah.
Did you? Oh, you went? You got your own? You didn't even give me tickets? I would have paid for them.
You know who hit me up was Harambe. He's like, hey, I got an extra ticket. I'm like, yeah, I want one. Yeah.
Holy crap. And just left me out. I'm the reason they call you Harambe.
You can still come.
I'm not going to go sit by myself.
You're not going to sit by yourself. We'll find. You've got some pull in there.
I know a couple people. I know a couple people.
Maybe we'll sit next to Tony Khan.
Maybe I'll sneak in through my office. Maybe I'll come through the forbidden door.
Mohawk Honda, where they always go out of their way to please you.
That's right. They do that. I love those guys. Love them. I'm actually in a moment right now with one of the Mohawk Chevrolet employees where I'm liking entirely too much of their stuff, and I'm like, it's getting weird. So I'm stopped. I was like, because she's just on my page, like, and you can tell because her dad and I are like best friends. So it's like Katie Gattuso, Duncan over there, like our mindset is so similar. Like she keeps posting funny stuff, and I'm like liking. I'm like, it's getting creepy. I'm liking my buddy's daughter's stuff way too much. So I just like, Greg, I tell your daughter to stop being cool, please. Knock it off.
Is that one of the best pranks you can do for somebody, though? Somebody did that to me in college. One of my old roommates, this is like 2012 Facebook. He just randomly got on my phone and liked one girl's pictures 15 times, like 15 in a row. Just one.
Yeah. And go back. You gotta go back.
Yeah, right.
You gotta go back to like old school ones. Yeah. Oh, that's the worst. Like as soon as like I say, like you take a flyer and you accept a friend request from some woman and you're just like, oh, she seems okay. And then 5 seconds later, you got like 30 notifications. Like, what the fuck is? Oh, she liked every picture from 2012. Unfriend. Unfriend. Restraining order. F the F off. I'm out of here. Pepper spray. If I don't call you guys in the morning, send out a flyer. I got black phoned. I'm out of here.
You texted me before we went on today about Aaron Boone.
Yeah. Do your victory lap, man. Go ahead.
What a liar. Aaron Boone is a liar. Liar, pants on fire. I've been saying it since he took over that job. All he does is lie to me. That poor Susan Waldman's trying to do her job. She's a Hall of Famer. And Aaron Boone's out there lying to Sweeney Murdy. Lie.
I can't even do the Susan voice. I would die if I did the Susan voice right now. It would be bad. I just gave John Carlos Stanton a day off because he gets an extra day off. It's perfect. It's no big deal. Everything's fine. I'm in the kitchen doing the same thing I did back then, guys. Yeah, see, that makes sense. It's perfect. Extra day off. It's fine. So what if I put him in a same game parlay, which I still won, just not as much money because they ate that leg, and then today it comes out he's on the IL. He's back. He's where he belongs. He's re-upped with the IL, Mr. Giancarlo Stanton.
Of all the games that Stanton could miss, this one hurts more than any other. Not because it's like a divisional foe, because obviously they're in the other league, and not because it's a rivalry, because it's a Subway Series. It's fun. First place teams in New York, all that stuff. It's that if you remember the most recent time these teams played, which was September 12th of last year, there was a little feud between Stanton and Lindor. Lindor hit 3 home runs, and after the second one, he's out there like doing this weird move and like taunting Gio Urshela, and then Stanton took one deeper, and Stanton basically like stuck out his chest. So like all the teams ended up on the field. It wasn't a brawl. They didn't throw punches, but it's like, okay, Stan, like you wanted to start something with the other New York team, and you probably remember that. Here's your moment to do it again.
Did he start it or did he finish it? He
started
and finished
it. Finish is fair enough. Okay.
Listen, here's the sad part about being a Yankee fan. It's just tough. So one of our damn near 7 foot tall bashers goes on the IL. Oh, wait, we have another one. So we're good. We're good. Judge is going to go off tonight. It's going to be the Judge and Donaldson show tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. I appreciate the crew from Flushing, playing a little baseball with us, but it's not going to be good for you. It's just not going to be good for you.
Wait a second. The Mets are good. I know it's a 2-game series.
Okay. I mean, they're good. They're good, like against other teams, not like great teams. Like one team is like historically good. The other team is like, they're pretty good. That's fun. That's a nice little story you got going over there. Watch the Braves track you down. It's fine.
To do another beat the man, you got to beat the man. Is that what the series is? Is this the 2 best teams in baseball?
One of them. One of them's here. One of them showed up. I don't know about. I wouldn't say both. I mean, unless the Mets all of a sudden are the Astros, and I didn't notice.
Or the Dodgers.
Yeah. All right. Wow. You're just pushing them down the ladder a little bit, or the Braves. It's all right. Like no. Look, hey, Mets fan, you got a good team. It's a nice little team you got over there in Flushing. We're gonna enjoy our trip to Citi Field. I would actually want to check out this game at Citi Field if I could have, because Citi Field's so much more inviting, because a lot of people don't want to go there. So there's a lot more opening, to hang out in.
You started setting it up. I'm like, oh yeah, what's Dr. Dreer up to? I wonder he's a big Met. Oh, okay.
I don't think we're invited back after how drunk we got.
That was whoa. That was not you and I. That was a certain person whose name started with the letter G.
Well, listen, he was worse, but we did not do ourselves any favors.
We had fun. We had a very good time. This series for me feels like the 2 best teams in baseball. I know we just mentioned the Dodgers and the Astros and where they are, but those 2 teams have been around for like 5 years. There is something different about whether it's attitude, changing of the guard. Like we can use these cliches. I get the Yankees are really good every year. Like they've been to multiple ALCS, but like there's something different about both these teams in 2022 that I really like about this game. Or these next 2 games.
All joking aside, Mets are still really good without their 2 best pitchers out there. You know what I mean? So it's like, DeGrom's he's going to go pitch in Syracuse and then he's going to be back hopefully.
Yep.
So like it's there. I think what this is the matchup you're hoping for. Like this is like Yankees Dodgers historically. That's amazing. That's like, wow. Okay. Let's just get royalty in the World Series, Yankees Astros to get to that. Okay. All right. Now, get to beat the man, to beat the man, you're going to beat the man. And you haven't really played that well against Houston. Great. But realistically speaking, everyone wants Yankees Mets. They want the Subway Series. I say it every year. As a Yankee fan, if I could beat the Mets in 7 in the World Series, I'm thrilled. Now, if I could beat them in 4, I'd be even more thrilled. But I think that's the matchup everybody wants. Can little brother with the big checkbook now take out big brother?
Not the last time these teams are going to face off this season. 2 games set here, and then another 2 games set coming up in August. So as exciting as the Subway Series is the next 2 days,
when is August?
26th and 27th.
Yeah, I'll be in Florida. I'm going to Florida.
You can watch it in Florida if you want. Celebrate the birthday.
I'm not going to it, but no, I'll be in Florida.
7:10 first pitch tonight. Yankees and Mets. Great stuff coming up. You know, he's a big Met fan. Who loves talking Yankee baseball. Met baseball is our friends over at Johnstone Supply in Troy. You're looking for that new AC unit this summer. Shout out to everybody over at Johnstone Supply in Troy. Now's the time to check it out. 518-272-5922. 518-272-5922. That's the number at Johnstone Supply in Troy.
You talking about these AC splits? Is that what you're going to talk about?
Yeah.
So I've been here and I was like damn near sitting on my AC unit, like still sweating. And I get lectured by Mike Corda. You got to get those AC splits in your house. You know about those. I heard you talk about them, idiot. You got friends who freaking, Johnstone or whatever? Don't they have an AC? Can't you get a deal or something on AC splits from Johnstone? Idiot. Stupid. I'm like, I appreciate it. That's his way of saying he cares. So I appreciate it. But it was funny, like, as soon as you start talking about it, all I could hear with Mike go, you need to get those AC splits. Back of your house, nobody would even notice. Blah, 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 idiot. Dumbass. Stupid
if your friends have been insulting you, just like Levack, it's 6th Avenue, it's Troy, it's Johnstone Supply in Troy. You can walk in and say, my friends are insulting me that I haven't come here sooner. Please help me.
They do it with love. And that's why you should go to Johnstone Supply.
Should it be like the Dick's restaurant there? They insult you when you show up.
Well, he's a dick, all right. I mean, that's for sure. Oh, I got cough.
While Levack is surviving, our audio audience missed out on that, and our visual audience. Next time, just do it right into the mic.
Dude, it's bad. It's bad.
It looked bad. That should be like the screen grab of, like, you know how you have like the screen promotions of the podcast rather than our logos.
Just coffee. It's just me looking like a 6-pack a day smoker, like after 40 years of just getting after it, sitting here in a sundress with little burns because I fall asleep with a cigarette. Yeah, I'm a guy, but I wear a sundress because I'm fat. I smoke 6 packs of cigarettes a day. What you gonna do about it? Nothing. That's what you're gonna do. Sorry, I'm tough talking myself in the future.
There was so much to that.
I'm so angry. I'm so angry. I'm just an angry. That's what this is made. It's just an angry time for me.
I thought
we're down to 3 watchers. We lost like 6 viewers while I started just berating myself in the future and other people who don't exist.
I thought you were going to say angry elf and then segue to Kyler Murray.
Speaking of angry elves, how about Kyler Murray? There you have it. This is Levack and Goz. It's Tech East Tuesday. Make sure you check out Tech East Facebook page, Tech East website, tefirewater.com. We're there for you. Godzilla's YouTube page, and then wherever you hear the laughter of a child, the same place you can hear Levack and Goz's podcast. Yeah, because we abduct them. No, so Kyler Murray, dude, I gotta tell you, if you wanted to, like, burn a house down right after you bought it, like, Arizona has shown us how to do this. Like, this is like, here, let's give this guy a great extension. Everybody thinks it's kumbaya time. Everything's beautiful here in Arizona Cardinals land. And then in there, we'll just put in a quick little, by the way, if you don't watch 4 hours of tape a week during the season, we're going to go ahead and cut $100 million out of your deal, you lazy prick. And then walk away. Like, it's just like, dude, how much is Kyler Murray, A, not paying attention, and B, how much does somebody in that front office freaking hate him to make sure that everybody knew that stipulation is in the contract long before anybody else saw it?
Thank you that you and I are on the same page on this, because I saw Jamarcus Russell trending. I saw him trending on Twitter after Kyler Murray.
Jabusto Russell, please. Jabusto, please.
So I have to admit, my first thought when I heard the Kyler Murray contract news, besides the numbers.
Am I the only one who wants to see Jamarcus Russell hold Kyler Murray like a baby now? Like, am I the only one? No, it's just me. Okay, all right.
Brian Clark asked him about this the other day. Like, he actually, I think it was 2 weeks ago on his show, The Pivot. I'll give it a shout out, Podcast Love. And he's like, well, that really doesn't matter. I'm like, that's a yes. You didn't watch it. Like, just say you didn't watch it, man. Like,
which one? Kyler
Russell.
Murray said it?
Russell.
Oh, yeah, well, we all know he didn't watch it. We all know he was too busy with the purple drank. Which, by the way, thanks a lot. I could use that codeine right now.
$230 million, 160 guaranteed. But that reaction is exactly right, because yes, they think Kyler Murray is lazy. They think he does not watch film. Initially, when I saw it, I'm like, oh, like, this is a part of what happens in a $230 million contract. Like, there's stipulations of, like, you got to go to practice on time. You got to go to all the meetings. Like, the quarterback meetings are like, that's a part of this. Like, it's just
ride motorcycles.
Right. It's like your job description
for him.
But then realizing, like, ooh, that's unique. And then actually watching Kyler Murray play, there were times over the past, hell, you might even go back to high school if you want, because he's one of the great high school quarterbacks ever in Texas. Heisman Trophy winner in college. he might just be flat out that good of an athlete where he's like, you know what, I'm just going to do my own thing. Like, I'm not watching tape. I'm that good of and I know that sounds too high of praise, but seriously, like, there are times you watch Kyler Murray play, as excited as he is, you're like, that wasn't the play. Like, he's just doing what he wants.
Right. Well, and how do you game plan? You can't game plan for that because he does not game plan for it. But at the same time, you see it, like, that's one of the reasons he gets hurt. It's because he runs instead of throws. That's one of the reasons that you do lose games, because he stays well outside of what you actually game planned. And then, you can see what they've tried to become too with like James Conner on there, where they're running the football. They were kind of like a power team at points last year, which is not what they looked like on paper. So he's got to conform a little. Like, even if it's not fully, he has to conform a little. And the fact that they put in there, you got to watch film. Again, somebody in that front office hates him. Just hates him. Like, fine, I'll let you keep your little gimmick short guy quarterback, but I want in writing that he's going to do his homework. Because again, how do you even make sure I did that? Do I have to like log into something like this so you can watch me watch film like a creep?
Check in and check out and see you. It's a StreamYard situation.
Right, exactly. Like Kyler, are you playing Call of Duty, Kyler? Mm-hmm.
Wake up. I know you're sleeping. I know it's 3 a.m. in the morning and you're watching film, but I know you're sleeping.
And it's such a weird number, dude. 4 hours a week. Like, dude, tell me a quarterback of any actual success that doesn't watch 4 hours of film a week. I mean, it's 4. It's 4 times you sit down and watch an hour of the other team's defense. Come on. That's easy. That's absurd.
There's also another part of this Kyler Murray thing that maybe history will look back and wonder, why was Arizona so obsessed with Kyler Murray? Like, none of this goes back to the NFL draft. Nothing about this has ever made sense. Like, Arizona has tried to become, I don't know if they're like Elon Musk or they're trying to be like a guy who's invented a social media. This is so far against conventional, traditional wisdom of the NFL that it seems as if like, oh, Kyler Murray must have like a bunch of Super Bowls or like a bunch of playoff wins or an MVP. I know Arizona was the best team in football the last 2 months or the first 2 months of the season last year. And the market has dictated because of how stupid some of these contracts are with quarterback. Like, hey, this is the number he should get because of Watson and everybody else.
Right.
But the whole thing from the day he was drafted in Cliff Kingsbury, and he's short and he's mobile, but he's got a net. Like, none of this has ever made sense. But Arizona loves him. Like, what is the market for Kyler Murray post Arizona? Like, would another team give him 230? I just don't know who it would have been.
Well, I think you see, so Lamar Jackson, okay, obviously different physical makeup, right? Like one is a larger dude who can take a hit or two or whatever, and one's a smaller guy, which you would not want to see him take a hit if you could avoid it. But like, Baltimore changed offensive football. They kind of took it back a little bit. They started drafting these better tight ends, make sure the line is good, build your offense numbers in. And it worked. It worked. It made them a formidable kind of just, I don't want to play against you. Almost the way like you see when teams play Army or Air Force, and all of a sudden the triple option, they're like, wait a minute, you're not as good as me, but I haven't seen this all freaking year, and this is killing me. You get Kyler Murray who can do all the things, and you're like, all right, let's change what we do. Let's do it different. But I gotta wonder if we're missing like one of the other, like, is Kyler Murray the only target in this little caveat in his contract? Because it kind of feels like a Cliff Kingsbury shot too.
Ooh, what do you mean by that? I want to hear this little theory. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. If you're Cliff Kingsbury, we brought you in, we brought Kyler in, you kind of joined together. If my quarterback respects me as a head coach, I don't need in writing to watch film. He just does it because I tell him to. He does it because he respects my system. He respects me, and he's going to watch the film so you can tell me why I'm telling you the wrong thing to do. So, and if I'm Kyler Murray, I got to know that if Cliff Kingsbury is gone, they might bring in a hard ass who's going to maybe do a lot more than watch 4 hours of film a week. Like, it almost feels like it's like a, hey, we threw away a lot of stuff just for the two of you. You better both get your crap together.
Yes. I love the Kingsbury point, because the best comparison maybe to Kingsbury and Murray is Lynch and Shanahan in San Francisco. Same division, Success has been far better in San Francisco. But Lynch and Shanahan can say, like, look what we've done together. Like, this has worked. We deserve to get a raise and everything else. And it's been now a combination of Garoppolo, soon to be Trey Lance.
Like Trey Lance, it's Trey's team.
It's Trey's team, according to Kyle Shanahan. Right. Yeah. Like all that stuff's happening. But Arizona has just said Kingsbury and Murray are our guys, even though their track record is nowhere close to any of those other guys. They have just gone all in. But here's the thing with like going all in the NFL. Maybe, and I hate not being strong enough on this take, but I just feel like this is the best way to cover it. Maybe that's the best mentality to have. Like, if I'm going to go down, I'm going down with my guy. Like, I when I'm all said and done, if they fire me in Arizona, I did everything. Like, I went all in. I didn't go half. I didn't change my scheme. I didn't give them a reason. We committed to these two. They let me down. I got canned. See ya. Thank you very much. Showing me like you'd rather be super aggressive. Like the Chiefs and the Bills, they went and got Mahomes. They went and got Allen. They were aggressive. These guys might be being aggressive in the wrong way, but I guess that's where I have to at least give them some credit. They are super aggressive, but maybe the wrong way.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens when he doesn't watch enough film and doesn't know the offense. Then we'll see how aggressive they are.
That's right.
That's when it all gets real.
I'm getting fired up for the NFL. I'm getting fired.
Oh, dude, everybody's in camp. Everybody's in camp today. Today's the day.
NFL training camp's open. By the way, I want a little plug here for later on this summer to pat our own selves on the back here. You nailed the Super Bowl champion in 2022 and our preseason show in 2021. In the COVID year, I had Buccaneers Chiefs. You and then Brian Kitty were second when it came to our playoff predictions and teams and all that stuff through Godzilla Media. I feel like because end of August, you're going to be on vacation. Maybe before that, we tape an NFL preview show. We put it on audio and visual, and we do a full-out blowout show, break down all the divisions, do our Super Bowl picks. So keep that in mind as August hits, because I feel like I know we did the written version last year, but a full end of August breakdown of the NFL season on the way.
You realize that like midnight, like 11:58 on August 13th, I go full NFL. My brain completely flips over. Like which is going to be a problem because I have a lot of work to do still in this office. But no, I'm in. Dude,
love it.
As a matter of fact, I could probably even do something remotely because I guarantee my nephew's like breaking everything down 75 million ways for Sunday just because he's a nerd. But, you know, he's also a Marine, so whatever. I said ex-Marine today, and I got yelled at. You're never an ex-Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. I'm like, well, he doesn't report for duty anymore. Duty. So, did you see Aaron Rodgers show up today?
You mean Cameron Pope?
Cameron Poe.
Did I say Pope? Poe.
You did.
P-O-E. P-O-E.
Yeah. Cameron Poe. Dude, Nick Cage is the renaissance that is Nick Cage is amazing. I can't remember the name of the movie where he's himself.
Oh, I thought you were saying Con Air's the movie.
The horrible burden of something, massive talent or something like that. And he's just so good in it. It's him and the dude from Mandalorian. It's hysterical. It's like totally worth watching. If it's like it's National Treasure without like pretending it's not Nick Cage. Pretty much what the movie is. Like it's like, what if it was just Nick Cage in this movie and not him as a character? No, that's Aaron Rodgers is such a weird dude, but good for you for doing that one. Second best appearance, in my humble opinion, at a training camp today.
Second best. Like, by the way, before you tell me the first, Rodgers loves this. Like, if there's any doubt in any single person's mind that Aaron Rodgers does not love the attention. Remember last year he did the Office t-shirt of like the NBA Jam characters had like Kevin's Chili and had like all these offense references. Now he comes out with the Cameron Poe from Con Air, Bunny in the Box.
There you go.
The great movies. Love Con Air. There's this running joke in Salvi about that movie Con Air that we love. About the attention. All right, now I need to know who had the better entrance than Aaron Rodgers today.
Uzama, there, the tight end, the new tight end in New York, who shows up with the Zach Wilson, Times Person of the Year award on the front. Like I love that. Like you got Devontae Adams who's getting just run for saying like Derek Carr's gonna be a Hall of Famer. You get Tyreek Hill who's getting run because he likes Tua. And no one is complaining about the love fest for the Jets quarterback because it has absolutely zero to do with what happens on the football field, unless that's where he banged his mom's best friend. Who knows? But
allegedly,
there's no alleged. That happened. There's no way that didn't happen at this point. It's a matter of how many of her best friends did he run through the book club is what we need to know. like this is mom Oprah, and you bang my son, and you bang my son, and you bang my son, and I'm gonna cough.
The Jets, though, with that T-shirt, that is number one.
Yeah.
Shout out to whoever the social media intern or director, whoever did the Mekhi Becton photo. I don't think there was anybody under more pressure to get that one right because the angle had to be perfect of the big Jets offensive lineman not being fat, and like that's what's
fisheye lens. That's
right. People were just like, "Congrats, Becton, you showed up in shape." Like, oh, good, the 6'8", 380, 370
rounds of shape.
This is not Rex Ryan 2010 Hard Knocks. It is not that level. But now that we have Zach Wilson, the new tight end, Big CJ, former of the Bengals, Mekhi Becton, 3 first-round picks, rookies debuting at camp. I can't believe I'm saying that. I think of all the NFL teams, I'm talking myself into the Jets maybe having the most interesting and entertaining training camp of all the NFL teams.
I mean, obviously you're always going to lean towards your favorite teams. Right. So like if you're a Buccaneers fan, now that they got Julio Jones, can Brady squeeze a little more out of that toothpaste tube? For me as a Raiders fan, the just blatant disrespect that my organization is receiving. Paul Gutierrez, pump the brakes. Don't appreciate your tone. I can't wait to see how that comes together. There's a lot of stories. The Jets are intriguing. Like you said, who are they? Are they going to be this new animal that actually competes? Because, Big Game Bob Saleh and we get along. We're boys. And I got a lot of love for that bald man. And I'm hoping he gets everything going the right way. And I'm a little jealous of Zach Wilson. He's he's running through some hot moms. He's the MILF hunter. So
I can't wait till the Jets and the Jags play each other in mid-October, and they're both 3-4, and another big game for Big Game Bob Saleh coming up here on a Sunday from the Hideaway.
Don't be shocked if Doug Peterson puts some work into that Jags team and they don't come. I bet Jags are come out of the chute hot. Jags might be that team that goes worst to first in their division.
James Robinson tore his Achilles in late November, and there's a report out there that he's going to be ready, off the pup list. I'm like, what? Yeah. Is he a machine? How's he ready? It's 9 months off a torn Achilles.
And he doesn't have to deal with Urban Meyer's bullshit. He's going to have a real coach. He's going to let him run the football. I mean, come on. I'm willing to bet the Jags. I might bet they're over wins. I don't even know what they are, but they might be one you got to do. I got a cramp.
I would say Jets, the Jags storyline of Trevor Lawrence. What's he going to be in year 2? He doesn't really have the excuse anymore of it being Urban Meyer's fault. Baltimore, your nephew will enjoy that because the Baltimore storyline.
And my daughter.
And your daughter, that's right. They'll both be intrigued by Baltimore because Lamar Jackson's contract situation is not going away. He is still yet to hire an agent. This is his last year. He probably should have been signed.
So bad.
But the whole situation out in Baltimore is very intriguing as well, especially that AFC North. So there's a lot of good training camp storylines. The Lions are on Hard Knocks this year. Dan Campbell and company.
There 2 teams? I think there's 2 teams on Hard Knocks this year.
But Hard Knocks all over the place now because I know they got a mid-season Hard Knocks they had with the Colts last year.
Yeah, because they're trying to ruin it. They're trying to kill it. They're trying to take away the things that I love. Yeah, it's Detroit Lions. I thought there was 2 teams. No, it's just the one. I don't know. I can't pay attention anymore.
We'll hit up Paul Camerata. I'll hit him up.
The Cards.
And ask him.
The Cards too.
Oh, okay.
The Cards will be in season. That's all right. I'm sorry. So there is 2, but the Lions, yeah. I mean, Dan Campbell, and the best thing about him is now that we know the truth that the head coach has final cut on episodes. Dan Campbell is freaking insane. So there's gonna be something in there. He's gonna be like, leave it. He's gonna motivate the team by just what did Giant Depp call it? Grumpy, by dropping a grumpy right in the middle of the. Yeah, that's what you guys played like last year, and they're gonna be like, you want us to cut that out? He's like, nah, leave it. That's good. It's corn. It's perfect.
If he drops a grumpy, I'll go 17-0 for the Lions. There's no doubt. Here's a question, because today is a 10-year mark, which is kind of a sad 10-year mark here for Capital Reason sports fans, but this goes across all upstate New York. The Jets used to be in Cortland. I don't think it's unfair to say the clock might be ticking on St. John Fisher College. There was talks that it may be done this year. It was 2 years ago they thought it was over. It's 10 years since the New York Giants had training camp at UAlbany. Should teams go back to the college campus? We've covered training camps at 4 different cities. Could that ever happen? Like, could we see a day where the Giants or somebody comes back to Albany for training camps?
I don't know. It depends because it's such a costly venture that when you build these facilities that can host them, you just don't mess with it. Like I was looking into doing our training camp offsite, and some of the numbers I got back are intense. Like to the point where I didn't even show them to team owner Mike Corda because he would have laughed at me or maybe hit me, maybe both. Who knows? So it's, I mean, like I said, you got to move your organization. Like the Giants moved to Albany. They brought their stuff, their weight room, their everything to Albany. And that's a huge cost. And then to pay to be there and to be fed and everything else. I think as long as you see teams have success with the current mantra, nobody's going to do it. And it may be a week, and even then I think it'll be more of the ones you see where the Patriots are flying to practice with the Raiders. Why would I pay to move my entire organization for a month when I can just travel to somebody else's and they'll host me and then I can, work something out with them and then, trade it out.
I love this stat. I heard this stat this week. In 1999, only three teams had a home campus, we'll call it, who didn't leave. It was Miami, Tampa, and Cleveland. There's some weird correlation between Cleveland and two Florida cities. Decided not to leave those. Now only 6 teams in the NFL do the college campus thing. Don't train at their training facilities. You laid out a lot of good reasons why, cost cutting measures, all that stuff. Like in the past, it was a lot about spreading the market. Like we'll use the Rochester example again. Like if you're a Rochester fan, you become a Bills fan because they're 45 minutes away. Albany, I'm sure there's a lot of Giants fans because of that. Cortland and there's a reason why you wanted to expand your brand. You don't have to do that anymore. It's cool to have those events, but you could find different ways to do it and still have those fans connected. Another big thing, and this is something you
not drop $300,000-$400,000.
Yeah. The fan experience, for the Albany Empire, you as the team president, you get to decide everything that happens during a game day or your ideas of it and all that stuff. When you're partners with a college, I'm sure the college wants a say in what they want to do. And then the NFL team has a say. It's we don't like your idea. We want to do our stuff, pocket our own money, charge when we want to charge fans to get in, what we want to charge fans to get in. So not having a partner also cuts that middleman out where it's it saves us money and potentially gains us some money because it's going in our pockets.
Right. And there's familiarity with our own facility. And I mean, we've broadcast from all of them. And the one that is the least gracious for the actual broadcast is the Bills. And it's because they don't have the control the other two do. Like the Jets have junction boxes set up on the walkway, so you can just plug right in and do a show. The Giants have the same thing on out back they set up for us. Where the Bills, it's part of our deal is with this radio station and their trailer is there. It's in the way of this. It's this, that, and the other thing. So it's we ended up doing it. We'd go visit, and they were very gracious to let us visit. But to do a broadcast, we had to go find a bar nearby and do that. And me, I hate bars, so it was very very uncomfortable for me.
Our Patriot one, the connection was off with the second year, but I'll tell you what, that first year, that staff they had Howl at the Moon and Fox.
Oh my goodness,
I just have
they were healthy girls, healthy.
Grab my chest there for a second.
That's weird.
If you're in love, your place is Lily and David Fine Jewelers. I'll leave that on the audio side. Hopefully my wife doesn't hear that. How about this, Levack? 5 years tomorrow. Yes. Post to my wonderful wife. 5-year anniversary. I saw that on the social medias. That's coming up tomorrow. Lily and David Fine Jewelers.
Are you guys gonna do Jaeger shots and fart at each other? Is that what you're gonna do? No.
So. All right. I'll send that to my wife to see if she likes that. Shout out to
Jordan. You should get her a gift from Lily and David. Like other people do anniversaries and stuff. You should be like, honey, this is the day that you made me the happy. You said yes, and go buy her a necklace or some earrings. From Lily and David Fine Jewelers.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will do that.
You're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it. Stop lying.
Route 50, the shops of Wilton. Thursday, I'm stopping.
I'll buy her. Friday. I'll buy her a present. I will.
Oh,
beautiful one.
Nice
right. Tell her what a loser her husband is.
If you're heading up to the track this summer, or you hit it big on a try or superfecta, spend it on the wonderful woman in your life at Lily and David Fine Jewelers, right there.
Or if your wife's sick of you betting at the track all the time, take some of that money, buy her a present, show her you care. Come on.
Or you want more time at the track this summer.
Yeah,
buy her a present.
There it is.
Lily and David Fine Jeweler. Shout out to Alyssa and David. Family owned and operated business. Selection is great. Walk her in there. Ask what she wants. They'll help you with the price.
This is
Lily
the best
and David
thing.
Fine Jeweler.
Am I crazy? I can visualize Alyssa. Like I walk in there and be like, so the missus is pissed off. I keep going to the track. I just want to keep going to the track. What? And she'll be like, you got a picture of her? All right, skin tone, boom. All right, look at this. What do you think of this stuff? Whatever. Oh, you've lost? You've been losing at the track? Okay, come over here. We got this. Oh, you've been winning? Oh, come over here. Like, I can just see her like a quick eye roll and be like, I got you. I'll help you through this. I know what you need. A nice tennis bracelet. You're winning? No. Like an earring package. Yeah, no, we got to. Oh, you lost a lot? Okay, have you seen these gold-plated roses we do for Valentine's Day? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I guarantee she knows, like, exactly what gift is going to get you more track time.
I just imagine now there's a room where, like, people who have lost the track are, like, washing something back there. Can you take me?
She's like, how many days a week do you want to be at the track? Okay, come over here.
Lily and David Fine Jewelers, Route 50 shops of Wilton. Levack, you and I missed on this one.
Okay.
Vince McMahon has retired from the
Did he come out? Did they say anything about it last night?
I believe Stephanie McMahon did stuff on Friday on the SmackDown show. She came out, let off the show.
Isn't my cousin Paul Levack taking over?
Yes. Co-CEOs, Stephanie McMahon and Nick Khan. I want to get back to that co-CEO thing. Allegedly, Paul Levack, your cousin, Triple H is now taking over all of creative. So the shows will be done by Triple H.
There you go.
The reports.
People love him though, right? Since he's taking over. Like he gets, like when he was out with the heart issue, which I'm very curious to see how that's going to, like, hopefully his health will be good. Like when he was out, a lot of people got pissed off. They were not good with it. I did hear that Brock Lesnar's pissed that McMahon's out though.
Yeah, there was a story on Friday from Fightful Select that said Lesnar just left. Said if he's gone, I'm gone, and they brought him back. So he might be like, all right, I want to get paid.
Somebody tell me I'm pretty. Somebody tell me I'm pretty.
He'll cash that SummerSlam check on Saturday and say, so thanks for coming.
Off to Suplex City for me.
Yeah. So Vince is gone. Stephanie and but one thing on the Paul Levack Triple H thing. European fans love him, especially. I know they got a show coming up in September because he did like a lot of stuff in Europe, like NXT and some shows. So like, especially European fans love Triple H, and because of the Levack name.
Did you know, like, if you're American outside of the bathroom when you're headed in, and you're American, you know, when you're leaving the bathroom, do you know what you are while you're using the bathroom?
American.
European.
Do you see my finger going for the
He's trying to find the wah.
I'm stealing that joke, though.
It's a
classic dad. That's a very good dad joke.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the co-CEO thing. I think we can talk about this. You and I have worked for a company before that had co-CEOs. I feel like it doesn't matter if it's a media company, an entertainment company, there's co-hosts for Jeopardy, right? It's like Mayim Bialik and Ken Jennings. I feel like co-anything and more so co-business presidents, decision-making positions is a failing situation.
I feel like, what's his name?
Nick Khan.
Nick Khan. He's training wheels, right? Isn't that what he is? It's like Stephanie, I don't think you're 100% ready yet. So let Nick hold your hand for a little bit, and then eventually you'll just take over. You'll like rip his head off like a female praying mantis. You'll just take him apart.
I feel like Nick Khan might be the one who's going for the head. I
really?
think he's like he's the superpower agent. He's like one of the most powerful sports agents of all time. I think he took that.
You need to make, but it's WWE. I mean, it goes back Vince McMahon's dad, Vince McMahon. Like, I think everybody thought it would be Shane, and it'll be Stephanie. Stephanie will be the or Mr. Stephanie, my cousin Paul, will be one of the ones that takes over.
I think if it was up to Nick Khan, not knowing him, but just like understanding his background as an agent, he probably would like the title of like president and let Stephanie do like the wrestling stuff, like the promotions, events, all that stuff, like putting on the shows. And then Triple H would have like the behind the scenes creative. And then Nick Khan would be like, can I do this? I'm the money guy, the stock, make the people who are invested, basically just made Vince McMahon's position 3 positions rather than 1 at 77 years old.
I don't know.
Do you think do you think positive, negative, no effect at all that he's no longer the boss of WWE and the highest ranking professional entertainment wrestling company in the world?
I think it's actually going to have a positive effect because it had to close a lot of doors, people knowing who he was and what he's done or what he's allegedly done. So I think what it'll do is on a business front, it'll open up some doors for them that he's gone. And then that will trickle into, more money, meaning bigger shows. And I don't think it's good news for AEW. I think AEW is probably going to have an even bigger tiger by the tail now. But no, it'll be good. That's if he's really gone. Like, this screams the George Steinbrenner suspension to me, where it's like, you can't come near your baseball team and blah blah blah. And all like George is in the back on, hey, I'm still here. I'm coming back. Like, it feels like a wrestling move.
A little spoiler alert in episode 1 of The Captain, they talk about Steinbrenner's return and how he was booed by Yankee fans when he first was suspended because of the connection with Dave Winfield and everything else, and how he was cheered by Yankee fans when he returned because they knew he was going to be so competitive to bring a champion. It was cool to see his actual arrival back as the boss. I would love to see Vince McMahon get some type of send-off. Whether I know he said he doesn't want to go in the Hall of Fame and he doesn't want people to thank him at the Hall of Fame because it's just repetitive. But some type of final event, like, all right, that's the final ride, maybe a final stunner from Stone Cold or something. There's a potential when you think about this of them selling. Like, there's been talk of like why they've been cutting all these wrestlers and why they hitched on with Peacock, that maybe McMahon just sells it for like $1 billion and says, my family's good for life. Like, you guys are good. Like, you guys, it could be like a Dana White situation. You could still run it, but like,
right. But even if he sells it, she'll still run it. So one of them will still run. Like Triple H is there until his health gives out, I think, because he loves it. He loves the industry and people love him. But I've tried to watch it last night. I know about 5 seconds whether or not it's going to be something worth watching. And more often than not, I still turn it off. I got no interest. Unless my boy Bobby Fish is wrestling over AEW, I'm pretty much out.
What's up with Bobby Fish, by the way? Is he doing stuff with your fellow Colony high school people?
I mean, everybody else is rallying back together. We got DJ D. Scott's doing the block party.
Class of 94. Is he? Is that the big news?
Yeah.
I saw him tease a little bit.
Did I spoil that for him? Damn it.
Oh, he might have spoiled it. I saw him tease something on social. He's like, I got a big announcement. I'm very honored that I was asked to do this. And I'm like,
yeah. Well, I tried to get him to do something for me like a couple weeks ago, but it just didn't work for his schedule. He's really good. I mean, the dude loves music like nobody's business. So it'll be a party at the block party for sure this week.
Hell yeah. Shout out to D. Scott, man. Big D. Scott guy. We're a D. Scott podcast. No, we're not. We actually like his podcast. Back to the WWE real quick there. Remember, the UFC, for the $1 billion the UFC had gone for, that was sold to Ari Emanuel, who was also known as Ari Gold from Entourage. Right. So that was like a $5-6 billion deal to an agency. So if Khan's got the backing of an agency, just look at those similarities. Entertainment fight companies run by agencies, maybe a similar deal is on the way that Khan rallies the troops and sells. I should say buys WWE.
Yeah, well, and then Stephanie and Shane O'Mac and my cousin Paul will head over to AEW and make it a winner. That's what it'll do. So my cousin Paul's pretty good. So
I'm glad fighting through your sickness and illness, you've made it a whole hour. I thought this was going to break soon.
It's 2 hours, man.
I have a question here from our pal who came up and saw us before the pregame show. Got some camera time. The one and only, the great Tommy Gross.
Sorry,
question.
I hit the Q&A of the day.
I gotcha.
So you got it? Okay.
I got excited too about Tommy Gross, my guy.
Right.
What do you think of Boston talking to Brooklyn about a possible trade for Kevin Durant? Let's go Empire. Let's get that W.
I think it's if Boston can pull it off, I think it makes Boston an absolute contender, like legit contender. Like, I know they just lost the finals, but like, should they even have been there? Maybe not. You put Durant on that roster and you don't give up too much. Now you're there and it matters.
I am really confused, not by Tom's question, but like this theory that Boston needs Durant. Because Boston won. They're in the NBA Finals. They're like a few wins away from winning the championship with that combination of the roster they have of Brown, Tatum. You could run Horford, played like he was a young man. Like,
right. Well, how many more years are you going to get that?
Right. But that's a really good roster. And Tatum and Brown are both younger than Durant, and Durant caused issues in Brooklyn. And the talk was that Brown would be a part of the deal. And Jaylen Brown immediately went to social media because it's 2022 and put the SMH, the shaking my head emoji. And it was, by the way, both Woj and Shams. So it wasn't like one guy was looking for a story. Both of those guys reported that. And I know locally in Boston, they had said, like, the Boston reaction was great. They're like, whoa, just full of it. That Shams knows not. And Boston radio hosts are like, so you think he just leaked it to leak it? Like, you think the two best NBA reporters just randomly on a Monday in July wanted to say Kevin Durant might go to, like, Boston fan was very against the idea of Durant coming because they had Kyrie too. Remember, just a few years ago, it didn't work out.
Durant's a better player, though. He got wrapped up in this crap. Yep. Here's the thing. You were right. They have a very good roster if you want to be a runner-up. They're never going to beat a Steph Curry without a Kevin Durant. They're never going to beat, LeBron James when he gets his full cast of characters. So they need something. Is it Durant? Maybe not. Maybe it's something else. But they need to make some tweaks, and that's one hell of a tweak to add arguably the best basketball player on the planet when he's healthy.
I want Jason Tatum to be in that conversation. I like him, man. He's a really good player. I don't know if there's like a wave of athletes that are going to come next. Like, is the LeBron era's over? Because that was like LeBron, Wade, Bosh, Carmelo. God, that hurt a little bit. Those guys have long passed.
Because like, Carmelo doesn't belong in that conversation.
How dare you? My son picked up a Melo jersey the other day. I couldn't have been more proud.
Hey, listen. I was going to pass on that joke, but considering he never passed, why should I? Our guy Knicks, baby. Knicks are going to be real this year, baby. Look out. Look out now.
They stink now.
No, they good now. A lot of passes.
Our guy Gurkha, I didn't get a chance to put this comment through. He said prayers for Levack. Can we get a shirt? Just like Ferris. Just concerned for you, which is good. You've got Gurkha concerned about your health.
He said mean shit. Fuck him.
What happened?
Screw him.
Whoa. That just took a turn.
He was crapping on me about being sick. He can F off.
Oh, man. It must have been my page. You must have been meaner
If
on
he
your
wants
page.
me to feel better, tell him to drop off some fucking bourbon. All right? That'll fix me right up. Little Yankee Distillers bourbon. Maybe some rye. Let's just go rye. Let's get right into it.
Mike Camps wrote Bunny in the Box. Very good. That's right. He liked the Cameron Poe. Very good.
Steve Buscemi in that is so weird. So creepy.
Oh,
actually, everything he did.
We got one from Ryan McCarthy here. Is Boston dead? After how horrendous the Red Sox have looked the past week, are the Red Sox out of it? Are they dead?
Dude, it's bad. That's like, I'm not, you know what? I'm not even going to pick on the Red Sox right now. I'm not even interested in picking on them. That's horrendous. Like when Boston, I was texting Boston Dan about it, and he's like, I just hate these guys right now. I was like, I can't even make fun of you right now. He's got to take me to a Yankee game. I forgot about that. He still
does. And what the hell happened in Boston? Because it was like they were in contention. There was one point like back in early June, late May, or like, oh, Boston might catch New York. They're getting on the hot.
Who said that? Who said that? Oh, now you're just making
Boston
shit
fan.
Up.
Boston
yeah, I was gonna
fan.
say. Yeah, Sully and Tommy Boy are sitting there at Dunkin' behind Dunkin' with a half a can of Sam Adams and a Marb Red. I think we're gonna catch them. No, you're not. Fuck off.
Stick a fork in them. They're absolutely done. They're done. They're toast. It is absolutely over.
Good.
That is an historic beatdown that the Boston Red Sox were suffering. They're done. It is over. Right now, it looks like
the lights. The party's over.
We did a conversation like a month ago about how usually easy it is, and like I discussed, like the American League is just not very good. But Toronto's still there, Tampa's still there, and Seattle got on a great run. Seattle's the team in all professional sports that is the longest playoff drought. So the Brady Farkas fighting Seattle Mariners probably can do this thing.
They're this year's A's. They're this year's A's. They're like, oh, how'd they put this together faster than we thought they would? And then boom, here they are. So
I would far rather
what about your Orioles?
Yeah,
your Orioles fighting the wild card life. I'm making fun of them for a second. Good for you, buddy. Look at you.
And not just winning games, entertaining walk-off wins, come from behind victories. They are, man, sitting down watching an Oriole game in the summer, being like, wow, there's like things that matter in this game. And
right.
Stuff
When's
can
the last
happen.
time
this is cool.
When's the last time you watched a relevant Orioles game late July, early August?
2016 with the stupid wild card game that Buck Showalter didn't pitch Zach Britton.
But you're not bitter. You've let it go. You got to let that pass, just like Melo wouldn't do.
At one point, I forgot it from my memory. I'm like, oh, remember in 2014 when they got to the ALCS and lost to the Royals? Like, I wiped 2016. Like, it never even happened to me.
Have you watched both episodes of The Captain yet?
Yes.
When, all right, spoiler alert. 3, 2, 1. When Jeter smiles and goes, we all know what happened. Tony should have jumped. Like I just freaking, because he's like, when he said we all know what's happening, like, don't do it, Jeter. Don't admit it. Don't admit it. You should have jumped. I'm like, the captain lives. You were right. I love the series so far. It's pretty amazing.
It's so good. And it's like, I think
it's
it was
just enough of stuff that you didn't 100% know with a little nostalgia memory lane. I think the next one is where it's going to start getting a little greasy, a little nasty. Because we just talked about arbitration a little bit. Like I think we start getting into these contract negotiations and stuff. That's where it's like, and that's when I decided Brian Cashman could suck a fart out of my butt. Like I just something that's gonna be great.
There's a part of me driving into CBS's studios today where I was like, why didn't they just call it like the Yankee Dynasty? Like, why didn't they just call it like the 90s Yankees? Why didn't they just like give it the Last Dance treatment? Then I thought, okay, the Yankee franchise as a whole is so polarizing. There's so many people that just hate the Yankees that they would be out of it. Like they just would not watch it. But there are even non-Yankee fans who like Jeter. So I think the idea of like the captain being the face of the documentary, even though it's far more about the history of the Yankees of the 90s, which is really cool. And
I think you're missing the point though. He's the lightning rod that made it happen. Like it doesn't happen without him. You know, like you could have all the, I don't remember who it was who said the line. It was like, they weren't stars. They became stars. I think it might have been Susan. Yeah, because of how great they played. Like he went from this nerdy kid who they didn't know if they wanted to talk to their leader. And, you know, he was a lightning rod. Everybody wanted him to be a part of stuff. They watched him so closely, waiting for him to do something stupid that nobody saw. Like, did anybody know Bernie Williams played guitar until he retired? No. You know what I mean? You know, David Wells is out getting faced the night before games. Nobody's paying attention to it. It's funny because you're winning. He's why they were what they were, and I think that's what the point they're making.
That Tony Fernandez story they talk about at second base, I never knew that story. That like I never knew the Tony Fernandez story. That's cool.
Yeah, because that's why it's like if Steinbrenner doesn't get suspended, we don't have the dynasty.
And the A-Rod thing is placed. This isn't a spoiler, but like there's an A-Rod conversation in episode 2. I hope they're building to something more because
they have to.
It's a little awkwardly placed, the A-Rod thing. I get why timeline-wise, like in comparison to The Last Dance, and I keep doing that. I got to stop it. Like it's for sports fans, they're going to know what I mean by this. There was a lot of jumping around in The Last Dance. Like there'd be an episode, they go back to the 80s. The timeline of this is better because they set up A-Rod and Jeter. But A-Rod's answer was too like buttoned up.
Yeah, because he doesn't want you to look deeper.
Yeah.
But you notice that there's, all right, again, continue spoiler alerts. There's a line from Jeter in that episode that I think sets up what you want because you're talking about A-Rod, but at a different point in the episode, he goes, Jeter said, I wish I wasn't this way, but every time I meet someone, I think to myself, what do they want from me? And my very first thought was, this is why I'm so amazing, because when I met him, I just thanked him for everything he did for me as a fan. And he stopped and looked at his sister and went, he's like, thank you. He goes, it's a really nice guy right there. And he laughed. And I was like, Derek thinks I'm nice. But I also feel like there's part of that is going to lead into the, like, if you look, you can almost see him becoming more cynical already. Like, I think you'll see the cynicism and how it plays into his relationship with A-Rod.
Yeah. And Brian Cashman.
Brian Cashman. Like, what's my rule? You Google someone, the first picture that comes up tells you whether or not people like him. Dude, they made every picture of Cash at the beginning, and I know he was a nerd. I get it. He looks so freaking over the top nerdy. It's bad. Like it's it's to the point where it's like, no wonder this dude started bench pressing and rappelling down buildings for Christmas. Like he had to, because he just looks, instinctively, I want to take his lunch money. I have no choice. Like I just want to bully him.
And especially in the 90s. Yeah. Younger people don't realize that's like how some of the suits were. Like they were supposed to be bigger. Like that was stylish, although it does not look like that on Brian Cashman. Yeah.
It's bad. So, all right, I have to go cough up a lung.
All right. Well, you and I will be back on Saturday for the playoff preview show, the playoff pregame show. Cannot wait for that.
I'm hopeful.
Whether we're in person at the MVP arena or digital, we will be there.
Yeah, I gotta pass some tests. I'm like Kyler Murray. I got to pass some tests first if I'm going to get all my monies. So, all right,
Yeah,
bye.
Hey, what about
everybody.
advice?
Oh, you want advice? Don't get sick. It sucks.